All right, Swift, day one of OTAs. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
You mean Bryce finally found someone from Cali who doesn't drop his passes?
Oh, you gonna do DJ Chark like that?
Hey man, I'm just saying, T Mac ain't out here looking like Bryce's long lost brother.
Well, let's hope he stay close, like touchdown close. Let's ride.
Oh,
Yo, Swift, man, OTAs are here. How you feeling about that, man?
I'm excited. I'm excited to finally see the rookies come together with the veterans and just
Yes,
see
sir.
everyone together creating that team
Absolutely.
chemistry. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, no, I mean, we got a lot of stuff to go over, and I mean, we're not gonna waste any time. But before we get going, I might as well go ahead and ask and like, listen, hey, we are super excited to let you know that we are growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, if you look at our numbers over the last few days, we have just gone, we're going to the moon, right? Like, I'm excited to see all the people that are subscribing to our podcast, and seem to be enjoying our point of view, which I'm super excited about. So while I'm here, let me ask you to please like this video. All right, we're going to comment. So comment on your favorite thing you've seen in OTA so far, and then subscribe. If you like what the guys from Panther Pedigree are doing, go ahead and subscribe, and then smash that bell notification so that you know every time we put out brand new content. Just super excited to be here, super excited to do this with you guys, and super excited to go over the OTAs, man. So we're officially in phase 3 of OTAs. In phase 3, so that those who don't know, offseason goes in multiple phases. So phase 3 now is going to be effectively the last time they meet, and it's done in a few day window. So we have 2 days right now. Then they don't meet again until the 30th D.
Yeah, the
And then
30th.
they meet one day in June, and then they're off for the next 6 weeks, and and they don't see each other until training camp. So this is all because of the NFLPA, the NFL Players Association. This is the rules behind it, how much they can work and how much time they can have off. So this is going to be our last big time seeing the Panthers in action until training camp starts in late July. So I'm gonna absorb all of this, man. All right. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to share some video. So our friends from between Sheena Quick and Mike K and our friends at the Carolina Panthers, they have posted some video. So I think I'm just going to dive right into it because I mean we had got to look at the Cali to Cali for the first time, and I mean you're going to have to tell me what you see here, man, because I am beyond stoked at what we got going on here. So let's see. All right, it kind of picked up in the middle, but our guy Bryce stepping back launches it, and they slow it down in time to see Tet go ahead and snag that thing. I'm gonna let it play through again. So, D,
Oh, no, it was over Mike Jack too. I didn't even recognize it was over Mike Jack.
Mike Jack, and then we got Damani Richardson there, I believe, 36. Yeah. So, I mean, he's a smooth mover too. I mean, there is a video that I wanted to snag that he literally is doing like just these footwork drills, and it's absolutely insane to watch. He's just super smooth. Like, I mean, kind of walk the fans through what they're seeing here, D, because wide receiver is your position. So I'd like you to kind of weigh in on that.
Yeah, so I want to say it just looks like a go ball. Honestly,
Yeah.
either that or honestly, it just looks like a go ball because just by how quick Bryce got the ball off,
Yeah.
um, just like a little simple go ball. But honestly, it goes back to a lot of criticism that T Mac was getting through the draft process about creating separation.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like that's a problem in this case. I mean, granted, it's just one clip, but I mean,
Right.
it's really good to see, just that little flashy play. It looked like he had a step on Mike Jack, and then
Yeah.
just obviously we've been talking about his catch radius and his big bear paws. So for him to reach out and grab it and just looks fluid, looks comfortable. So
Oh man,
pretty cool to see.
and they slowed it down. I mean, obviously everybody looks amazing, right? What they say in the underwear Olympics here. So
Yeah.
there's no pads on, nobody's there's no risk of getting blown up by a safety. But man, it is a beautiful thing to see these guys going at it like this. I mean, and fans, like, I mean, you got to be excited for this connection. That Cali to Cali, like Tet Troa said, is going to be something. It's going to be something special, right? And I'm already feeling it. Like, I'm already feeling it. But I'm gonna back us out of this video real quick, and don't leave studio. Stop the screen share. All right. Oh man, could you imagine if I ended the show
What
like
was that?
that? Like people wonder what's going on. Like they're losing their minds.
That'd be a hell of
But
a cliffhanger.
oh, it really would be. Yeah, no, I mean, it's about time, right? Like, I mean, I think we might have stumbled upon something, right? I mean, and then while we're talking about the wide receivers, I mean, I think we have another look that we have for our wide receivers. So let me just take a look here. I believe our guy, let's see. Let me see what we got here. I believe it is right. Forgive me if this is not the right clip, but I think this is nope. This is going to be. We'll get to that one. Actually, no. We'll go ahead and do that one. We're going to go ahead and let me see.
Is it
Boom.
Renfrow or is it Jimmy?
It's going to be Jimmy. So it's going to be.
Oh no,
I
I
know.
think
So
this is
sorry.
XO.
It's going to be Bryce to XL.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Bryce to XL. So this is what we wanted to see last year, right? We wanted to see them, get some kind of connection going. And I mean, look, Bryce on the rollout, right? And then XL on he's got the check down route. He's like, flying to the flats, or flying to that midpoint mark. I mean, it's probably closer to the flats, right? Because you can see the distance between him and Bryce. It's a quick releaser, to see Bryce is rolling out right, XL's rolling out right. He's kind of like, giving him some help. Kind of that route that our boy from New England, Julian Edelman was famous for, helping Brady out.
Yep.
That quick check down, get open, get away from the defender, run toward the sideline, grab the sideline or cut it up and get as many yards as you can. So we'll let that run one more time. And just
I mean, that's definitely no Julian Edelman. That's a big body for him.
This is a large human, man. This is a large human with massive strides, right? Like, but it's good to
Something that
see
I
him.
do
Like,
really, something
go
I
ahead.
really appreciate. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Something I
No, no,
do
not at all.
notice. X talked about in his press conference was about catching with his hands, gaining confidence. Because a lot of the questions circulated around his catching ability. He said he sat down with his coaches and they looked at film of like what he was doing good, what he was doing bad, and self-evaluation was catching with his hands and less with his body. So I think right there is a little something, but a good example of him just working on just reaching out, extending with his hands, just something small as that. I mean, granted, he's a professional football player, but I mean, just as a receiver, we're all human, and like we all have head games, so it's
It's for real, man. Like, I mean, honest to goodness, like it is truly for real. Like it's hard to explain when you're in your own head, right? Like I think that's the thing people don't always fully understand. When you're in your own head, there's no getting you out of it, right? There's like, you can try, people can, tell you, hey man, like, it's okay. Like, no, but it's really not okay. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm used to doing this. I'm used to performing at this level and I really can't perform at this level right now. And I don't know why. So I think I found the clip that I wanted to go over. So Jimmy Jets, they call him, because Jimmy Jets right up here. And I love this clip so much. I mean, just, break down, come back toward the ball, catch. I mean, just clean. Again, another smooth mover. The wide receiver work, you want to tell the fans what they're seeing for those that are the non-trained eye.
Yeah, this looks like a 10, 15 yard. I'd say it's a curl or a hook of some sort. I think if it's 15, it'd be more of a hook. But yeah, I mean, he's a twitchy guy, snaps down, 2-3 steps, flips his head
It's
around.
like he runs to 17 and comes back to 15. Runs to 17,
right.
comes back to 15. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
it's a great. I mean, just if you go back to the drawing board of like route running, I mean, that's a good play to get, pick up a little chunk of like 8-10 yards. But yeah,
Absolutely.
that's no secret that he's a speedy guy. I mean, Tracy Smith, the special teams coordinator, was talking about his speed just, standing out alone, which kind of indicates what his role could be if it's not,
Absolutely.
being an immediate starter or getting into the
Absolutely.
rotation on the offense.
100%.
His impact is gonna show.
Oh, his impact's gonna
It's
be felt big time. His impact's gonna be felt big time. I mean, and it just, I don't know, for me, it's so good to see, right? It's so good to see some of these guys, like, okay, it's starting to feel real. Like, I mean, I look at Jimmy Horn Jr., and from all the press that he's getting, like, it doesn't feel like that young man is he's performing as a late round talent, right? Like, it feels like he came into camp with the intent on, like, stealing somebody's job. And I'm here for it, right?
Love to
I'm
see
all
it.
about it. Like,
I love to see
so
it.
here's our guy, your guy, 8 Ball right here. Let me go ahead and run this clip real quick.
Oh, man,
There we go. Here we
I
go.
did see this one.
We got the audio. Let me kill the audio. There we go. I mean, just it's gonna be good to see that man out there. He's, freshly minted contract. He smells like new money, right?
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, just reading that, just flipping the hips. It's just
Yeah,
a simple. Well, I wouldn't say simple, but that's one of those go-to defensive back
right.
drills.
And then
Just
stick
reading
your
the
foot in the
eyes.
ground, flip the hips,
Yep.
read the eyes, get in front of the ball, cut the route off. Yeah, no, I mean, it's classic DB work, but I mean, he's so smooth with it, right? He has no wasted movement. Puts his foot in the ground, comes back, flips it the other way, and just no wasted movement. I'm just like, it's actually pretty cool to see, man.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I mean, we talked about it in the last episode, in our positional episode. I mean, he's going to
Yeah,
be a huge part of this defense if he can stay healthy. I mean, he's our guy. I mean, we paid a lot of money to keep him in Carolina. So
that's so
I'm
true.
excited for him. I'm excited for him.
I mean, and since you went ahead and plugged the episode, let's go ahead and do that. One of our newer episodes, I mean, the episode that's going to release just before this one, is the beginning of our positional series. It's a series of 7 episodes that we're going to do. We're going to release one a week, so that it should take us right up until training camp, maybe it may in a week before, but don't worry, guys, we'll have plenty of content for you. With me and Swift, we literally take each position group. We take a look at each and every one of the players that are there. We break it down. We really dive deep in. We even get down to the point of guys who we think are going to make the roster, guys who we don't think are going to make the roster. I mean, I think honestly, as a work of art, I think it's one of our best pieces, and I highly recommend that. All right. So getting back there, gonna stop sharing Jimmy here. I mean, JC. Super excited about what we're seeing, man. Like honestly, like, so one of the things that I was taking a look at was some of the work that some of the defenders were doing. So they had Princely Uman Nielen out there, and they also had Nick Scorton out there as well. Like, they were doing some bag work. I saw some of the video. I couldn't locate it in time for the episode, but I mean, it's just basic D-line bag work. I mean, super aggressive hand strikes. There was one video, I hate to bounce from player to player back to, Tetro McMillan, but there was one drill that Tetro ran where he caught the ball and he fully stiff armed the bag. I mean, if he stiff arms a man like that in the field, that's going to be a highlight reel play. That's going to be somebody that's going to be like, looking for a new job come Monday. I mean, it looked super good. The other guy that we saw out there was Turk Wharton, and in reviewing we'll review all the interviews a little bit later, but you had said Ejiro had some glowing words for Mr. Turk Wharton.
Yeah, Evero quote. He had high praise for Turk Warren. Quote: He got a presence about him, an aura about him. He's got a purpose in everything he does.
I
So
love it.
I thought that
I
was
love
very
it.
interesting. Not interesting, but I mean, it's promising, to hear that from your defensive coordinator to
I
talk
mean,
about, you know,
and you really
yeah,
want the guys you bring in. I mean, obviously, this is like the time of year where the NFL is doing everything they can. Each team is doing everything they can with the media campaign, making sure they're building as much hope as possible. But at the same time, it's good to see that the guys that they're bringing in are truly being, looked at, appreciated. Da 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 da. I mean, it's like, they're not going, man, this guy that we signed, man, he's a total scrub, right? Like, like I like that. I like that. So. Man. All right. So I don't want to get any further before I ask one more time. Hey, before I do that, let me remind you guys that every one of our episodes going forward is going to be up on Spotify. We're currently in the works of trying to get our iHeartRadio and our Apple Music uploaded as well. But right now, everything that's ready is ready on Spotify. So everything, if you see it on here, you can hear it on Spotify. So if watching it on YouTube, it doesn't work for you, please tune into Spotify. Throw it on the phone, stream it to the car. Listen to the guys from Panther Pedigree, and we'll break down all your Panther stuff for you. So since I'm doing that, I might as well go ahead and tell you to like this video, please. Right? If you like what we're doing, please like this video. All right, comment. Tell us what is the most important thing that you've seen, the most impressive thing you've seen in the OTA so far. Subscribe. You like the guys from Panther Pedigree and what we do, hey, please help out the algorithm. Go ahead and subscribe. Tell people that, hey, listen, we want more. We want these guys to do more what they're doing. And then I need you to smash that bell notification so you can be one of the first to be able to get our information, get our podcast as soon as it downloads. So that I wanted to go ahead and do that. All right. So how about Mr. Hunter Renfrow, sir? There was some video of Hunter Renfrow. I've been trying to scramble here to try to find a couple of videos of Hunter Renfrow that I saw. And I cannot locate it, but man, there was a couple of times where he was running some drills and he looked clean, like ultra clean. So
I think there was one player I didn't see actually.
Or Hunter. Oh man, he ran a route and it was an outbreaking route. Like, so he caught the ball, outbroke. I mean, you could just tell the veteran to the fluidity to his movement, right? He has veteran fluidity and he actually used every single bit of it. Like when you're watching him again, this is the Underwear Olympics. So I don't want to get, too out of pocket here, but he looked so smooth. And I think that was what attracts the Panthers to him, is that, he's a guy that wants to play for us. And then he's a high production player, he's a high volume player. And then there's also a picture of him and Smitty on the sideline. Smitty's like giving him some grief on the sideline. So, Smitty's bought into this guy as well. So I like him. I like him a lot. I like where our receiving room is, man. I really like where our receiving room is.
Oh yeah, compared to where it was a year ago, I feel pretty promised about what probably promised. I feel a lot better about it, I should say, for lack of better words.
Without a shadow of a doubt. So notably missing, right? So we did get some word from Dave Canales on day one. So we were missing Tommy Trimble. Tommy had a back procedure done, and the way Canales described it was something that, they had sat down and talked about it. And, the young man's 25 years old. So let's go ahead and get that thing done before we get too far into his career. And so they went ahead and did that. So that's going to pretty much knock him out of all of OTAs, which isn't the worst thing because our boy Mitchell Evans is going to get some reps. And I will tell you, during I think it was during Canales' interview, one of the reporters, outlined that, Mitchell Evans made a pretty incredible catch and kind of used that as a springboard to more questions about the difference in the wide receiver room. So I think it sucks that Tommy's not available, but I mean, it's going to open up opportunities for JT Sanders and Mitchell Evans. So what are you thinking about it? Is it you think Tommy will be right for training camp, or you think this is going to be something that may be lingering?
I'm actually curious about it because I don't know. One of the questions that someone asked following that was if he was going to miss the whole season. So
Right.
Canales was pretty confident that he was going to be ready to go for training camp. So I'm curious to see, because that's a big time gap. We're talking about training camp, which is
like 8 weeks. It's literally like 8 weeks because if I'm not mistaken, I think the Carolina Panthers camp opens around the 27th. Let me check. But I mean, it's like 2 months.
But even at that, we're talking like a whole season. So him being ready to go in July, August compared to missing the whole season, that's a big time gap. So I'm curious about the severity of the back, whereas that made the reporter ask if he's gonna miss the whole season.
Yeah.
So
that it is actually very curious that's what they went with. They went with is it a season ending thing? Or I mean, it's kind of weird too because he literally just had that we just did a deal to bring him back. I think we added an additional 2 years or avoidable year, a good year and avoidable year onto his contract. So I thought the timing was really curious, but I mean, I'm not going to try to read too much into it right now, but it was just definitely something for the fans to pay attention to. Also notably missing was the UDFA of the sweetheart UDFA, Jalen Coker. So what do you make of that?
I don't think it's too serious. Was it also a back? There was 2
I
players.
think he said I don't think he was clear. He was clear. He said it was soft tissue. Didn't want to push him, but allow him to go through protocol. So it sounds precautionary, but
yeah. Yeah, in that case, it's precautionary. I don't think it's anything serious.
Yeah.
I think he'll be good to go. I think they, if even if we don't see him in OTAs, we'll see him for training camp.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. And then also notably missing is DJ Wanham, the guy that, the edge rusher that we got from Minnesota the year before that was out and then was expected to come back, but ended up with a complication of having a blood clot that knocked him out a few more weeks. And so he didn't get back until after Germany as well, I'm pretty sure. Germany was with his first game back or something. It was something along those lines. He was back late in the season. So I think Dave Canales described this one as it flared up, but he's expected to be a full participant going forward. Didn't want to push him through, didn't want to cause any additional damage, but allow the young man time to heal and go through protocol.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think kind of you made a great point about his injury during the season. So I think even more so, I
Yeah.
think that drove them to kind of make that decision to hold him out for now,
Yeah.
just to make sure
Yeah.
they have him 100% good to go.
Yeah, no, I think it's a smart move. You have a guy that's on the edge. Do you push him through OTAs or do you give him the time off to heal and go through protocol? You have an entire, department that is dedicated to the health and wellness of all your players. Let them do their job and, let's get him healthy so that when it counts, he's back for training camp. So all right, I think we're going to transition now into the interviews, man. So we've had quite a few interviews over the couple days of OTAs. I think I'm going to start with the head man himself. So Dave did two interviews. He did one on day one, and then he did an interview on day two. So if you don't mind me letting you take this one, D, so what did you pull from Dave's interviews?
He was pretty much a lot of the questions were just an evaluation of certain players. Like
Yeah,
you said, they started talking about Mitchell Evans.
yeah,
Um, they really were asking. It's funny because it was stuff we were talking about, which was why I was so
yeah,
excited. I was texting you off air, and I was like,
yeah,
"This is
absolutely.
literally things we were talking about like a week ago in previous episodes." But they're just asking him the difference between this season and last season, and he just feels like there's a lot more of like picking up where we left off, less
Yeah,
or so of, if for lack of better words, like picking up where we
absolutely.
left off instead of having to more teach, I guess. And like he was talking about the little things like coaches already getting ahead of practice and setting up
Yeah,
drills and stuff
yeah,
without him having to say anything. So people
absolutely.
just already knowing the system,
Yeah,
being molded into the culture. So it kind of felt like a cultural
yeah,
difference that he's noticed where it's
yeah.
made transitioning to the season a lot easier.
Yeah, no, I do. One of the questions I recall one of the reporters asking is like, how is it different from last year, right? So last year you're a rookie head coach and you don't know what you don't know, and you're behind because you did get hired early in the cycle, but you don't have your feet underneath you and whatnot. So that was the thing that I was kind of like okay, kind of paying attention to, and like kind of giving a little bit of and he was very honest, right? He was like his thing was he was he was how do you say it? So he was very like, it's Dave Canales, so he's very high level talker. Like I hate to string that out. So everything is like the big process, the big picture, and everything was that like he's talking about like fundamentally what that does for him, and fundamentally what it does for the players, and what it does for the equipment room, and he attacks every single piece of it, and I do appreciate that. Sometimes I want him to pull back the veil a little bit and give me something a little bit more, right? Give me something a little bit more salacious, right? But it is Dave Canales. He's super consistent, so I can't like begrudge him of trying to keep his vibe going. So that was it. He talked about Bryce and Bryce's maturity and how like not, I don't want to say maturity, but Bryce's evolution. I think that's a better word. And how he's continuing to evolve and whatnot. He weighed in on XL. He said XL is like he's hardworking, right? He's like they asked him specifically like drafting Tetro and McMillan, is that supposed to send a message to Excel? And he's like, no. He's like, Excel's role in the offense is the role in the offense. We're just trying to, achieve balance, right? Like, we want to, how do you word it? He said we wanted to balance the field. So basically they can't, defense can't slide one way and knock out the entire Panthers passing game. They want to make them pay attention and to be able to have to respect both sides. And I'm like, I thought that was a really, powerful, poignant statement. And then he talked a little bit about the young talent and whatnot. They obviously, question him about the people that were missing. But I mean, I thought all in all, it was a typical Dave Canales interview, right? Like it's super high level. He's never going to give you, anything, like I said earlier, salacious, or, you're not going to go, ooh, Dave, dang, man, how'd you say that? He's a company guy, right? He's going to say the company line. He's not going to give anything away. So, I mean, I applaud him for that. But yeah, so then we got to Bryce's interview. You want to take this, or you want me to lead off?
You can lead off. I'll jump off.
So I already know exactly where I'm going with this. So Bryce is his own self, right? He's his own authentic self. So Bryce starts off the interview by going back and forth with the reporters, and he's like, "So what did you guys do for Memorial Day?" And they're like, "Oh, that's the question we're supposed to be asking." He's like, "Oh, it's always about, it's not enough about you." And he's his own witty, kind of semi goofy, kind of nerdy self, but at the end of the day, he's very authentic. He's very himself, which we always definitely come to appreciate. But then they obviously got to the crux of the interview, and they talked to, he started answering questions about, what he's been up to and what he's been doing to, his process. And they asked him specifically about, hey, Bryce, we heard that you stood up on the table and, banged your fist for Tetro. And he's like, yeah, he's like, he's a great talent. I've known him since I was in high school. His work ethic is undeniable. He's obviously a unicorn style player. He's like, got the incredible catch radius. He's tall. He's a smooth mover. So, I mean, it was actually really cool to kind of like, have Bryce give, some of that feedback. What did you take from Bryce's interview?
What I took from it was a lot of that. Ted McMillan,
Yeah.
Like you were just mentioning, the impact that he had with that, and to build off of that, the trust that the front office has in Bryce.
Yeah.
And he did mention that they included him in the decision, and they considered his thoughts and opinions on what they should do with the 8th pick in the draft. So I thought that was really cool. And I think those are good signs to show for a team that's turning in the right direction. Talk about building a foundation. I mean, a front office to trust in a third-year quarterback, a guy
100%.
who's destined, who hopefully, is supposed to be your franchise
Absolutely.
Early on in his career. That's really cool to see. And I think that's only going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
And I think when they value his opinion, they get a guy like that. I mean, I feel like that can only elevate his game. It makes him, it validates him for wanting to be there.
Yes.
And make him play better. I mean, he's going to want to be there because they believe in him, and he believes in them, and he trusts in their process as well. So,
yeah. No, I mean, it's real. Like, I mean, it's definitely real. Like one of the videos I didn't get to, but BY9, his first throws in OTA, and they slowed it down. They got the elongated motion. I mean, they're building the hope. I mean, it's like a movie trailer, right? Like, so, I mean, the at least the Panthers media team is doing their piece. Bryce is doing his piece. The work, it looked like the work is getting put in. So, I mean, we should have a product that hits the field, and it should be something, something that's going to be different than what we've seen over at least the recent history of the Panthers. So the next interview we move into is one Xavier Legette. So this one was actually pretty funny, because I think one of the early questions was, is that your real voice? Because, and they're like, and he's like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, because of the commercial that you shot for the schedule release, when he has the English accent, and he thought that you're coming to play American football, and it was funny. It kind of flew over his head, and then they told him, he's like, oh, I get it, whatever. And it's funny because my family, your family, is from Mullins. It's not hard to understand him. It's just funny to hear it, because let's be honest, like my dad, your grandfather, kind of talks like that. So it's not the hardest thing to understand, but it's just funny when people like kind of point it out. But he was they asked him about the Kentucky Derby, and he's like, well, the NFL reached out to me, and it's like, I'm into horses, so I'm like, it seemed like a great match. I'm like, it just, and it was, to me, it flew over his head, like, they're trying to do like the fish out of water thing, because the Kentucky Derby is this stuffed shirt thing, and people show up and they got this country dude coming out there, like, loves horses, doing interviews and whatnot. And I mean, not that they're picking on him or anything, but they're definitely utilizing that is kind of like a little bit of a media presence, if you know what I'm saying. What else did you take from XL's interview?
Yeah, a little bit of what I was mentioning earlier. It seemed like a lot of the questions were about his just catching and making big plays. A big thing they were asking him about was like, they kept telling him that he was really hard on himself, and he was like, of course I'm gonna be hard on myself. Like, I expect better of myself. So I mean, as an athlete, I can kind of connect to that, because I mean, you're your own biggest critic, so
it's real.
I definitely understand, going through a slump.
Yeah.
And he's just talking about just kind of putting that behind him, getting ready for year 2. Obviously, like what I was saying earlier, sitting down with coaches and looking at film of what he did good, what he did bad, even in the good, like where he can be even better.
Right.
So he had a lot to say about just how he can improve in a year 2. And also, may I mention, I really cannot stand David Newton, because he asks the dumbest questions ever. He asked some dumb question like, what are some things that you can do that Tet McMillan can't, and vice versa? Like, what kind of question? Like,
it's
why would
always
you
those
ask
locker room dividing questions. It's like, dude, like, I get it, you're a reporter, but it's like you're trying to destroy our locker room and destroy our chemistry. Yes, like I don't mean to be salacious, but you will find that myself and Swift are not the biggest David Newton fans out there. So I could not wait to jump on this. I applaud you, sir, for your bravery. Hold on. Yeah,
and it's so crazy
there
because he
I applaud
literally
you.
asked almost identically the same question to T-Mac on draft night when he got drafted. They asked him what he can do that separates himself from the rest of the receiver room. It's like, why? And T-Mac just shut it down. And I was like, why?
It's like
what makes you? He's gonna answer that?
Like
what are
why?
you
Like
trying to get?
that doesn't make you a good reporter, or like a crack reporter. Like, dude, like it's just awful. Like I get it, ask the tough questions, but that's not tough questions. That's like you're kind of like trying to split the locker room, and we don't want that here, right? Like stop, enough, get out of here.
No, it's just annoying and uncalled. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just I had to say it, because I'm
glad you
been
did.
sitting here listening to it for years, and I'm
It's
so
actually
sick
a
of
real
listening to it.
conversation we have off air, so might as well have it on air too. So
Oh yeah. I'm sick of it.
So the next interview that we had is Panthers OC Brad Idzik. What I did do, I will be honest with you, I did not watch all 19 minutes of his interview. He is a entertaining and engaging individual, but it was a pretty busy day for me, so I went ahead and I found the Panthers article that they kind of wrote on it, and they basically said Brad Idzik could use one word to describe his second offseason with the Panthers, and it would likely be consistent. For the first time in a while, the offensive coordinator finds himself surrounded by familiar faces and familiar terminology. And he actually said, we're just blessed to go into a second year for me too. Wednesday, speaking to the other media during the Panthers OTAs, I haven't been in a second year in an offense in a couple of years. So that's important, right? Like you and I are talking on 2 episodes ago about consistency, right? Like, what does that do for you, right? What does that do for a locker room when you're walking into the same thing for a second year in a row? And especially when you have an uptick, especially when you talk momentum, you talk about similar terminology, you talk about Bryce was probably playing his best ball toward the end of the season. Like, you're talking like there's some real wins to having a second year. I'll let you kind of take off from here with Brad Idzik and some of the other comments.
I don't know if you want me to say it right now. He's not the play caller, though.
He's not the play caller. Like it's almost like kind of a charity interview. Hey, Brad, like, hey, like we want to hear from you too. We're like, But he's not calling the plays though.
Why do I need to watch this? Um,
Facts,
no, I'm just
facts.
kidding.
We love
No,
you,
to
Brad.
go
We
back
love
to
you.
your, we love you. Keep learning. Keep learning. Um, to go back to your first point, I think it's super important, that to stay in the same system. I
Yeah,
think a lot of something Canales also mentioned was just the only difference, and Bryce mentioned too, I should say,
yeah,
um, is that the only difference between the offense last year and this year is just little wrinkles,
yeah,
different nuances, but the language is the same. Um, the audibles are the same, a lot of the verbalage and whatnot, it's all the same. So
yeah,
I think that's so huge for all the players that were just there last year, prior to
yeah,
last year. They can just pick up where they left off. And I think that's so important
yeah,
for any team, any situation to be in, a system that you're already comfortable with. So you
yeah,
already know where to start. It's a lot harder, especially at a high level like this, to you're trying to learn, like Bryce was mentioning, I'm trying to learn the offense and um, you know, learn myself and get better as a player. So it's
yeah.
hard.
Well, so we're going kind of bouncing back to Bryce's interview. He said that, last year they were always talking about things that they did in Seattle. And like, Bryce is like, it was like they were kind of going through the initial phases of installation. They're getting to some of the pieces now. He's super excited to find some of the additional nuances of the offense, the things that they're going to pass off to him, things that he's going to be allowed to do because it is year 2 in the offense. Like you're becoming, a veteran inside the offense. So I think it's super excited. But kind of bouncing back to Brad Idzik now, they did ask him about Bryce. And and he said, we're not teaching him what the vocabulary is. It's teaching him the whys. It's teaching him the theatrics within the play. And he's done a great job. And then he said, we only have one practice in our belt utilizing cadence, understanding the whys behind motions and the splits and helping get the guys aligned and all that stuff. He can start to drive the ship for others and get guys where they need to be because, he's not new. It's not new to him. Like, I mean, that says it all. I mean,
Yep.
that if anything I took from that was, kind of further bolstering our point that this is a big deal going into a second off season. I mean, even Dave Canales, he only had 1 year with Brad Idzik and that staff in Tampa. Prior to they had, obviously the time in Seattle. But I mean, this is like, it's his own show now. Now he gets to have a second year at that. Also, they interviewed Mr. Ejiro Evero. And I think you mentioned earlier, Evero had some great words for Turk Wharton about how much of a hard worker he is and stuff like that. When they talked to him, and they asked about defensive line coach Todd Wash and what it means getting the physicality back by getting Derek Brown back. And this quote stuck out to me. Everything that we do from year to year is always looking to improve, and it really doesn't matter how good or bad you did the year before it. In this league, you will always have to be evolving, and you always have to be trying to stay ahead of the curve. So that's what we're trying to do. He said, we certainly know we need to play better up front. I need to coach better up front. And then we need to try to reinforce being physical and coming off the ball and getting some knockback. And we want to make sure that, it's a big part of what we do. So what do you think about Ejiro Evero's comments on the front area?
Yeah, he's absolutely right. I mean, when it comes down to it, it gets down to the nitty gritty. It's about effort. I mean, on the D line, on the defensive end, it's a mindset. It's
Yeah,
an attitude. It's effort. I mean, a lot of the times last season, you don't really see the explosiveness in the nitty gritty of the D line.
yeah,
I mean, like just trying to get back and trying to get that just that nasty attitude. Like you're
yeah,
in the trenches, especially the D line. I mean, you
absolutely.
got to have a presence. Like you looked at the
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles,
Oh my
take them
God.
for example in the Super
Oh my
Bowl.
God.
Like that was
Yeah.
the craziest performance by D line I've seen in a long time. Like,
Yeah.
but they
Let's
just
let's not
wanted
talk
it
about
more.
let's not talk about D line performances in Super Bowl 50. 50.
Oh,
Forget it.
sorry. Yeah.
All right,
All
we'll
right.
get by that.
Anyways. But yeah, I mean, just bringing
Yeah,
that dog. I mean,
I agree. I agree.
that's the word, right? Like just getting back to Carolina football. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be nasty.
Well, I mean,
So
that's
I mean,
the word of the this regime, right? It's getting that dog and then the alignment, right? The alignment between Dan Morgan and Dave Canales and oh my gosh, what's his name? The cap guy, Brant Tillis, the alignment. So yeah, so
yes.
that's their hot button word. So I mean, it's been great, the OTAs. This is going to be this is an exciting time to be a Panthers fan. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if you haven't jumped on the bandwagon, this is the perfect time to go ahead, because we're going to close the doors soon, because when we start winning, we're not going to want to see people coming out from the woodwork, trying to put our stuff back on. But we reached the end of this episode, but I'm going to ask, before we get into our final comments, I'm going to say this is a great time to like this video. All right. If you like what we're doing, you like what we're talking about, we would love you to comment and tell us the best thing you've seen in training camp so far. Not training camp, I'm sorry, OTAs. All right. So then I want you to subscribe, because if you like the guys from Panther Pedigree, tell YouTube that. Subscribe to us. Tell YouTube that you want more of our content. And then lastly, please smash that bell notification so that you see our stuff before everybody else. Okay. So I also would like to remind everyone, we are now going to be on Spotify. Our last 2 episodes are already up on Spotify. This episode is going to be up on Spotify. And oh, by the way, Mr. Swift, when you add the episodes that we did 2 years ago and the episodes that we've done since our comeback, we have just completed episode number 20.
Big 2-0. That's
Big
awesome.
2-0. I'm so
That's
super
awesome.
excited, man. We are lucky to be able to do what we do. We are lucky to be able to share our love with the Carolina Panthers with you fans. We are just loving adding on people into our community. And I will once again stand and say it with my chest: the fastest growing Carolina Panthers podcast out there. We love what we do. We enjoy the news cycle. We dig in. We're on Twitter. So you can see under my name, our Twitter handle. We're on Instagram. See our Instagram handle. We're also on Facebook. We're everywhere, and we're going to continue to be everywhere, because we love doing this. We love sharing our love of the Panthers. And with that, Mr. Swift, I believe we have hit the end of this episode, man.
Yeah, we
I
have.
appreciate you. Like, this has been a good one. I mean, we got to see what our boys are doing, and there will be some more dates coming up. So we'll be looking to get back at it with another couple day review. Again, we have work coming up on the 30th, and I believe we have some work early next week. So we'll probably have a video next week of the OTAs, and then we'll be reviewing another position group for our position group series, and I think we'll be doing the linebackers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
linebackers. Yep.
linebackers. Okay. All right. So, hey, with all of that, I'd like to say this is Big P. That's my guy, Swift. I want you to stay blessed and keep pounding.
Stay safe, stay blessed, and most importantly, keep pounding.